Hi guys, this is Amanda from Amanda Around the Globe, and I am back at home in Chiang Mai, Thailand. I am going to be here for one more month, and then I will be going somewhere else, which I will tell you guys in another video. So today I wanted to make a video about my budget in Singapore and how much I spent there. So I wrote it all down here. Ta-da! Okay, let's go over the overview first. So in total I spent $209.79 for 6 days in Singapore. That's US dollars, not Singapore dollars. That seems like a very low amount, maybe to some people, or maybe to some people it seems like a high amount. Yeah, and then for the flight I did spend $200, but I think that in this video, for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to include the flight in the overall budget because it really obviously depends where you're flying from. And actually, if I would have been flying from farther away, I would have used mileage points to get my flights for free. I have a video on that, which I will link, I don't know if it's that way, somewhere up there. You guys can check that out. But because I am in Thailand and I'm pretty close to Singapore, I just bought a cheap flight through AirAsia, and I cannot use my credit card points for that. My credit card company does not have an affiliation with Budget Airlines, so I can't buy flights on Budget Airlines with points, which is a little bit annoying, but it's not a big deal in the long run. Okay, so let's work this out. So I pulled out 200 Singapore dollars when I got to the airport in Singapore from the ATM. Do not carry a lot of cash with you and then use a money exchange. That is a terrible idea. They will rip you off for sure. You'll get a much better conversion rate using the ATM because your bank just uses the normal automatic conversion rate, whereas if you go to a money exchange, they will take a commission. So that's your tip of the day. I was really lucky in Singapore because they have a great transportation system. They have a train called the MRT. From the airport, I could take this MRT to my host's house. I did couch surfing, which is how I managed to save a ton of money, because if I did not do couch surfing, let's be real, I could not afford to go to Singapore. It is really expensive there. It's more expensive than the United States. It's very luxurious. It's a very nice city. It's very clean. It's very pretty, and that will cost you. I am going to tell you what I spent in each category. So on transportation, I used the MRT every single place that I went. I was lucky to have an MRT card that my host had. He had an extra one that he let me borrow, which saved me a lot of money because if you buy the single-use tickets, they're more expensive, whereas if you load up an MRT card, then you get like a locals price maybe? I don't know, you get it for way cheaper. $20 on transportation, on the MRT. Half of that was actually spent on single-use tickets, just going to and from the airport, and the other half got me on the MRT all 5 days wherever I went to. So obviously the MRT card was a lot cheaper. I spent most of my money actually going out to eat. I like to go out to eat for lunch because I think it's a great way to take a break in the middle of the day. Obviously, like, you can usually find pretty budget-friendly places for lunch, but I am a vegan, I'm a health nerd, I really like health-centered restaurants, which tend to be more expensive. I do try to keep it budget-friendly, like I don't order a ton of stuff from these restaurants, but I did go a little bit crazy one day at this place that I went to called Real Food Cafe in Singapore. Great place to go, it was so good. Everything was homemade, everything was fresh, everything was really, really, really good. So I went there 3 times. I spent $42 US dollars total at this restaurant, which is a lot more expensive than anywhere I usually go out to eat. $14 on going out for coffees during this time. That is a lot of money, I think. I have a video about what I packed for Singapore, and I actually forgot my coffee maker. I did not bring my coffee maker, which was a big mistake because I could have paid $0 for going out for coffee, but it's alright because it was nice to get out and see the neighborhood. So I think what I'm going to do is leave the details of the budget down below because I don't want to tell you guys like every single dollar that I spent. I think it's more worth it in this video to talk about ways to save money and what I prefer to spend money on. The other things that I spent a lot of money on were going out to this restaurant called Veganburg. If you guys follow me on Snapchat or Instagram, you'll have seen this. There is a restaurant called Veganburg in Singapore, and there's also one in San Francisco. And every time I go home to San Francisco, I go to this restaurant like so many times. I'll go there like 3 times in a week. I just love this place. It's like fast food for vegan burgers. So I love that place, and when I found out that there was one in Singapore, I got so excited because I've been missing it. And those are the only 2 locations in the world, so I thought this was a sign, and I went there twice, and both times I got quite a lot of food. Another thing that I spent a lot of money on was I did go out with my host because he wanted to show me Singapore, which was really, really nice of him. I was really excited, but I was also like, I don't usually budget a lot of money for alcohol because it's really expensive and I don't usually drink that much. So I kind of told him like I'm on a pretty tight budget, and the first night we went out, it was his coworker's going away party, and his coworker paid for all the drinks, which was really nice because alcohol is insanely expensive there. Like for one beer, it was $20, and that was the cheapest thing on the menu. We went to a rooftop bar, which was so cool. We went there at night and you could see the whole city, and it was a pretty fancy place. And on that night, I paid for my own drinks. I had 2 like really fancy cocktails, and it was so fun. It was totally worth it. That was 50 Singapore dollars. I think it's polite to hang out with your host when they invite you, and I think it was also totally worth it because it was so much fun, and I will never forget that night. Like, it was really cool. Sometimes when you're traveling, like, even though you might be on a budget, sometimes things come up and you might want to do them and want to enjoy my life to a certain extent. I don't usually do a lot of luxurious or expensive things. Most things that I do are free or cost very little money. So sometimes it's just nice to just go all out and just let loose, I guess. I choose not to spend money on things like accommodation, entertainment, transportation. I obviously have to spend a little bit on that, but I choose the cheapest transportation. I choose the cheapest entertainment, and I choose the cheapest accommodation. I have a video on how to use Couchsurfing and have the best possible experience on Couchsurfing. I'll link that somewhere around here also. Out of it today. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, entertainment. I usually do things that are free, so what I really like to do in the entertainment department is walk around, see the city. I like to take a lot of pictures for Instagram, my website. I like to do a lot of Snapchat. I'm very active on Snapchat. I basically just walk a ton, see a lot of sights, take a lot of pictures, meet new people. I always have a blast, and it's always a great time. And transportation, it's always fun to take the cheaper transportation because that's what the locals do. You kind of feel like you live there. Instead of taking taxis or whatever, I always take the train, the subway, the bus, you know. It's always fun to do that. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful for someone at least. I hope you like this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe for more videos about travel and minimalism. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!